The sky over New Dawn Colony was clear, blue, and endless. Lena stood with her little brother on the green fields outside their home, laughing as the wind pushed at their hair. Her mother, a well-known scientist, waved from the porch, calling them in for the celebration meal. Today was the anniversary of New Dawn's founding, the day humans made a new home far from Earth. Flags waved, children played, and music echoed through the air. It felt like nothing could go wrong. But then it did. At first, people noticed a strange shadow moving across the sky. Birds scattered. The air grew heavy. Lena looked up and saw something unnatural. It wasn't a cloud. It was large, silent, and black, a shape that didn't belong in the sky. Others noticed it too. People pointed, whispered, then shouted. The music stopped. Fear replaced joy. Something was coming, and it didn't look friendly. Suddenly the sky opened. Fire poured from above like a storm of anger. Explosions ripped through the buildings. The fields caught fire. People ran and screamed, but there was nowhere to go. Lena grabbed her brother's hand and sprinted toward the emergency shelter. Her mother was already inside, waving them forward. But just before they reached her, another blast shook the ground. Lena was thrown into the grass. When she looked up, the shelter had collapsed. The entrance was gone. Her mother, gone. She couldn't breathe. Her ears rang. Her brother was still next to her, crying. She pulled him up, running blindly through smoke and fire. Buildings fell. The air smelled like burning metal and blood. She saw her neighbors die. She saw homes turn to dust. The colony was being erased. A transport ship flew overhead, but it was already on fire. It crashed into the forest with a roar. Lena's heart pounded. She needed to escape. She had to survive for her family, for her brother. She spotted a rescue pod station near the edge of the colony. Somehow, it was still standing. She ran, pulling her brother, dodging debris and flames. When they reached the pod, she slammed the activation button. The door hissed open. Inside was small, meant for one person, but they both squeezed in. The system asked for identification. She gave it. The pod began to lift off just as the ground exploded beneath it. The shockwave pushed the pod higher into the air. Lena looked out the window and saw what was left of her home. Smoke, fire, ashes. Then she saw the ships. Black. And sharp like knives, they hovered above the ruins, their lights blinking. They weren't human. No markings. No warnings. They had come. Destroyed everything. And now they were leaving. A message crackled through the pod's emergency system. It wasn't meant for them. It was a broadcast, one that made Lena freeze. 1. Less human colony to pollute the stars, the voice said in cold, perfect common tongue. Then silence. Her brother was crying beside her, shaking, but she couldn't move. That voice had no emotion, no regret. They had killed her people like it meant nothing, like it was cleaning up trash. Her hand shook. Her heart pounded with something. She had never felt before a deep, burning rage. The pod moved into orbit. A larger Earth ship responded to the emergency and pulled them aboard. Medics tried to take her brother away, but she held his hand tightly. Soldiers spoke gently to her, but she didn't hear the words. Her eyes were fixed on the screen showing the remains of New Dawn. Fires still burned. Her home was gone. Didn't cry? Not yet. Not until she was alone in a cold room, sitting beside her sleeping brother, and saw her mother's picture in her hand. She whispered one word, voice dry and cold. Why? But no answer came. Only one thought burned in. Her mind, whoever did this, would pay. Lena sat alone in a small white room on Earth. The walls were clean, the lights soft, but everything felt wrong. Her hands were cold. Her eyes stared at the table, unmoving. It had been 3 days since she and her little brother were rescued from the ruins of New Dawn. 3 days since her world turned to ash. The Earth officials gave her food, a warm bed, and quiet words. But what she wanted, what she begged for, was justice. The door slid open, and a tall officer walked in. His uniform was perfect, his face calm. He sat across from her and placed a small device on the table. We've confirmed the attackers were not a known species, he said. Their technology is advanced. We're still searching for answers. Lena looked at him sharply. You saw the message? They did? This on purpose. The officer nodded slowly. Yes, and we're deeply sorry for your loss. She leaned forward. Then send a fleet. Go after them. Make them pay. The man's expression didn't change. Can't risk starting a war with an unknown enemy. We need more time. More information? Lena's voice rose. They killed thousands. It's my mother. My brother almost died. And you're asking for time? We're not soldiers of revenge, the man said quietly. We're protectors of peace. Lena stood up, her fists shaking. Then I'll do it myself. The officer didn't stop her when she walked out. He just sighed and turned off the device. She didn't care. Words meant nothing now. Later that night, she sat by her brother's bed in the medical wing. He was healing, finally sleeping peacefully. She gently brushed his hair aside, her heart heavy. She had promised their mother she would protect him. She had. But now she had to do more. She had to finish what the officials wouldn't start. Lena remembered the hidden access key her mother once gave her, a personal clearance code meant only for emergencies. Her mother had worked on secret projects for the Earth Defense Network. Lena never knew the details, but she remembered one. Name mentioned in whispers, Project Wraith. She left the medical center quietly, slipping through the halls of the Earth Research Complex. No one stopped her. No one even noticed. Deep in the underground levels, she reached the old data vaults. A locked door waited in front of her. She entered her mother's code. The door opened. Inside, the air was cold. Dust floated in the beams of soft blue light. Old machines lined the walls. Screens flickered weakly. She walked deeper, passing long-dead consoles until she found what she was looking for. A small console. At the back, lit up when she touched it. Scanned her face, then asked, "Clearance level?" She spoke her mother's code. The screen turned white for a moment. Then one word appeared, large and glowing. Wraith. Below it a warning blinked. In red, extreme risk. Earth Council deactivated. Unauthorized access is forbidden. Lena smiled bitterly. Good. She pressed enter. The system began to hum. Old lights turned on. The machines around her came to life, one by one. A new voice spoke from the console.com, but not. Human, WRAITH activation in progress. Identify mission. She stared into the glowing screen, her voice steady. Vengeance. The lights turned red. Systems shifted. Maps began to load. Weapons lists appeared. The AI's voice paused for a long second. Target. She uploaded the coordinates recorded from the attack, the one she had stolen from the rescue ship logs. Then the AI spoke. Again, authorization confirmed. Shall I awaken the war systems, Lena Soren? She didn't hesitate. Yes. As the machines awakened, she stood tall. No one was coming to help her. Not Earth, not the Council, not the fleet. So she would. Do it alone. And this time, she wouldn't run. She would bring the storm. The stars outside the ship's window were silent and cold.
Ow.
Lena sat in the pilot seat of a small stolen cruiser, her hands tight on the controls. The path ahead was marked by her mother's coordinates, deep in unregistered space, far from any patrols or trade routes. No one traveled this way anymore. It was forgotten space. Dead space. But Lena knew what waited at the end. The ship AI beeped as the hidden asteroid came into view. It was dark gray, covered in cracks, floating near a dying star. At first it looked like nothing more than space rock, lifeless and abandoned. But as Lena moved closer, the surface shimmered for a second, revealing outlines of metal and old tech beneath the dust. Her ship scanned it. Unmarked Earth installation detected. No communication signals. Defense systems offline. She smiled. The ship landed gently on a hangar pad carved into the rock. The doors opened with a hiss. Cold air rushed in. She stepped out wearing her old colony suit, her boots echoing against the metal floor. No lights, no movement. She moved forward, flashlight in hand, passing long-dead security turrets and control panels coated in dust. The deeper she went, the more she felt it. Something old was sleeping here, something powerful. Finally, she reached the core chamber. Two massive metal doors blocked her path. A scanner lit up. Biometric ID required a mechanical voice, said. She leaned in. The scanner flashed green. Genetic match, Dr. Alira Soren. Access granted. Welcome, Lena. The doors opened with a slow grind. Inside was a round chamber filled with black machines that looked like armored beasts. In the center was a large pod, pulsing faintly with red light. A single word glowed above it. WRAITH. The system came online, lights clicking on in a slow circle. Then, a deep voice echoed from the chamber. Wraith AI Core online. Identity confirmed. Reason for activation? Lena stepped forward. I want to strike back. They destroyed my home, my people, my family. There was silence for a moment. Then the AI spoke again. This system was designed to defend Earth against impossible threats. Banned by the Council? Sealed to prevent war? They declared war already, she said, voice sharp. I'm just answering. Understood, Wraith replied. Do you accept full control over Earth's deadliest tactical AI? I do. Chamber began to shift. Panels opened, and the black machines around her came alive. Mechanical limbs moved. Weapon modules clicked into place. Holograms lit up around her. Battle strategies. Attack plans. Ship schematics. She stepped onto the central platform where a Neuralink helmet waited. She picked it up carefully. Her mother must have known this day might come. She had. Designed it for someone with Lena's DNA. As she placed it over her head, a shock ran through her spine. The AI connected instantly. Link confirmed. Wraith is now bonded. Tactical control transferred to operator Lena Soren. Her vision changed. She could now see multiple systems at once. Ship controls, satellite views, power levels, even her own heartbeat. It was like seeing the world through war itself. This is what they feared, Lena whispered. Correct, Wraith replied. Earth feared the price of power. You do not, because I've already paid it. She uploaded the Trivern Dominion coordinates into the AI. The alien fleet responsible for New Dawn's destruction. Target acquired, Wraith said. Tactical paths available. Collateral damage, moderate, civilian loss, avoidable with precise strike. I want them to know it was me, she said coldly. I want them to see their killer before they die. Then let us begin. The machines around her started building drones, smart missiles, stealth hull plating. The cruiser she arrived in was now being reshaped into a weapon of fear. Wraith had slept too long. Now it was awake, and death was coming with it. The outpost's defense commander leaned forward in his chair, eyes wide as the alarm screamed. The skies above the Trivern listening post were burning. Gun batteries fired wildly into the dark, but they were hitting nothing. Ships exploded in the air like glass crushed by an invisible hand. No warnings, no messages, just death. The commander opened a channel. What is it? Who's attacking us? The technician's hands shook over his console. We don't know, sir. No heat signature. No ID. It's moving too fast. Then everything went silent. The command center's screen showed. Their last image, a black ship floating over the base shaped like a dagger, glowing with red light. A single word flashed across the screen in Old Earth code, Wraith, and then the feed went dark. From orbit, Lena watched the outpost collapse. In flames, no survivors. Her ship hovered quietly, hidden by stealth plating. The Wraith AI counted down enemy losses with calm precision. 76 confirmed enemy kills. All military targets eliminated. She took a breath. Her hands didn't shake. Not anymore. Record the footage, she said. Make sure. The rest of them see what happened here. Already transmitting to open Trivern frequencies, Wraith replied. Message included. This is for New Dawn. Back in the center of Trivern space, the news hit like a storm. On the bridge of a Trivern capital ship, Fleet Admiral Vor watched the video in silence. His officers stood frozen around him. No one spoke. "Is this real?" one of them finally asked. Vor nodded slowly. "That's Earth tech, but nothing like what we've seen before." "But Earth said nothing when we attacked New Dawn," the officer said. "They didn't even send a warning." Vor narrowed his eyes. "It didn't, but this is not their army." He stood. "This is someone acting alone." Across the galaxy, the video spread. Aliens in far-off systems whispered about the Black Ghost ship. Some called it a rogue weapon. Others said it was a lost demon of war. The only thing clear was this: something human, something angry, was moving through space, and it was not bound by peace treaties or mercy. Back on Earth, the Council gathered in silence. The video from the Trivern outpost now played on their private screens. The message, "This is for New Dawn," confirmed what they feared. "It's her," one of the members said. "Lena Soren." She activated Wraith. Another voice spoke, low and worried. "That project was sealed for a reason. If she keeps using it, the damage could spread beyond Trivern. Other empires will blame Earth, but we didn't send her," another argued. "She stole it." The room fell quiet. Finally, the council leader said, "Begin tracking her location." "Do not engage. Not yet." "She's not the problem," the leader added. "She's the consequence." Far away, Lena sat inside her ship's dark command chamber. The red lights of Wraith pulsed softly around her. She watched the fear spreading across the galaxy. She didn't smile. This wasn't joy. It was justice. And she wasn't finished. "Trivern military is tightening their outer defenses," Wraith reported. "Patrol fleets are doubling. They expect another attack." "Good," she said. "Let them prepare. Let them feel something close to fear." She stared at the map of Trivern systems. There were many targets, but one glowed brighter than the rest. A massive space station near the edge of their empire. It wasn't just military. It was symbolic. A place where Trivern leaders met. A place where they once celebrated the destruction of New Dawn. "Next target?" Wraith asked. Lena pointed at the glowing dot on the screen. There, ship changed course, engines humming with silent power. As it moved into the shadows of deep space, Lena sat back in her chair. She thought of her mother's smile, her brother's laughter, her colony's green fields, all of it, gone in seconds. But now someone was listening. The galaxy was watching. She was far from done. The Trivern station, known as Spire Black, floated quietly above a dead moon. It was large, cold, and heavily armed. Inside, high-ranking Trivern leaders met in secret, away from public eyes. Months ago, they had laughed about New Dawn's destruction. Now no one laughed. Alarms had been running for hours. Patrols reported ghost signals. Ships vanished with no trace. Some officers believed it was a trick. Others believed the stories of a human weapon, of the black ship, of WRAITH. Then silence fell again. No signal, no attack, just stillness. Inside, a hidden tunnel beneath the station's outer walls, Lena moved like a shadow. Her suit was dark and silent. Wraith had mapped the station's layout, hacking into their systems hours ago. This mission was different. No explosions, no fire. This was a message. She had come to show them she could walk straight into their heart and leave them broken. "Core room is 30 meters ahead," Wraith said in her ear. "You remain undetected." Lena's eyes scanned the corridor. 2 guards walked past her unaware. She moved forward, quiet and fast, till she reached the core vault, the place where the Trivern stored all their military orders and classified data. She placed a device on the door, began to crack the code. Then everything went wrong. Sudden pulse ran through her suit. Pain sparked in her spine. The lights turned red. Gas hissed from the ceiling. "EMP detected," Wraith warned. "Signal loss," the voice cut out. Lena fell to the floor, her body shaking, her vision blurred. A trap. The door behind her opened. 10 Trivern soldiers entered. One of them, taller than the rest, wore a long black coat. His face showed no surprise. "So," he said, walking over, "you are the ghost." Lena tried to reach for her knife, but her body wouldn't respond. The officer knelt beside her. "We expected you would come here. You're predictable, human, vengeful, emotional." She looked up, eyes burning. "You'll regret this." Smiled. "We already do. Regret not finding you sooner." They dragged her through the halls of the station, past soldiers who stared in silence. She was placed inside a glass cell at the center of the command deck. Cameras surrounded her. Screens lit up. The Trivern broadcasted the image across the galaxy. Wraith is captured. The human threat is over. But they didn't understand what they had caught. Far away, deep in space, a signal flickered. On Earth, the Council received the transmission. Lena, trapped in a cage, her eyes filled with fire, her lips unmoving. But her message was clear. "She's still alive," one council member whispered. The council leader stared at the screen. "If the Trivern show the world they caught her, they'll grow bold again. They'll strike other colonies next. We can't allow that." Another officer stood. "Shall we prepare a response fleet?" The council leader nodded slowly. "Not to save her, to clean up our mistake." The order went out. A human fleet moved into Trivern space, not with her name, not with a flag, but with silence and full weapon clearance. Back on the station, the Trivern admiral leaned close to Lena's cell. "We're going to take Wraith apart," he said, "piece by piece, and then we'll do the same to you." Lena's eyes narrowed. She didn't speak. Because, while they gloated, something stirred inside the broken pieces of her suit. A light blinked once. Then again, her mother had hidden an override key in the helmet lining, old code, written before Wraith's systems were sealed. A final backup, one that could restart the AI. In its final form, her fingers twitched. The pain was fading, slowly. Wraith. Wasn't dead, and she wasn't done. Not yet. She just needed one more minute. The lights above. Lena flickered as the Trivern command deck shook slightly. Outside, their long-range sensors showed an unknown human fleet approaching fast. Their officers scrambled, shouting orders, but no one expected it. Earth had been quiet for months, silent, distant, but now, something had changed. Inside her. Glass cell. Lena's eyes were closed. Her fingers were resting over a crack in her helmet. The override key her mother had hidden there was now pulsing against her palm. One more second. That's all she needed. The admiral stood near the command chair, watching the humans move through space like sharks. Cold and ready, his voice was firm. "Send a warning. Tell Earth we have their weapon. If they attack, we will destroy her first." The technician looked up nervously. "Sir, they're not answering." A pause. Then the human fleet's lead ship sent a short message in old Terran code. Just 3 words. "She is coming." The lights in the station dimmed again. In her cell, Lena whispered, "Wraith, wake up." A voice replied instantly, low and cold. "Prime override accepted. Activating." Her cell's power grid blinked, then failed. The glass cracked, then exploded. Lena stood up as black armor formed around her body, pieces of Wraith rebuilt, from hidden nanotech. Her eyes glowed red as the AI fused with her mind again, but this time it was deeper, stronger, not just an ally, a part of her. The final form her mother had warned Earth to never use. Now it had a pilot with nothing left to lose. The Trivern guards opened fire. Bullets and plasma bolts flew, but none reached her. Wraith absorbed them, turning energy into heat. Moved forward like a shadow on fire, cutting through soldiers with cold precision. Her blades hummed. Her steps shook the deck. On Earth, the Council watched the live feed in silence. No one gave new orders. No one dared. "She's unstoppable," one whispered. "No," the Council leader said quietly. "She's justice." Back in the station, the Admiral tried to flee. He reached his private shuttle, hands shaking. Lena landed in front of it before the doors opened. She raised her arm. A beam of red light sliced the shuttle in two. He fell back, crawling, breathing hard. "What are you?" She walked toward him slowly, her voice calm. "You killed my family. You erased my home. And you thought there would be no cost." "We were at war," he shouted. "You're just one girl." She looked down at him, then knelt. One girl who remembered, and then there was silence. Outside, the station began to break apart. The human fleet didn't fire a single shot. They just watched. They knew she didn't need their help. All they did was open a clear path and close it behind her. When Lena returned to her ship, her body was tired, but her mind was clear. The mission was over, the revenge complete. But it didn't feel like victory. It felt like the end of something much bigger. Wraith spoke softly now. Multiple governments are now calling for peace treaties with Earth. Trivern forces are retreating. Your message was heard. Good, she said. They should remember what now? The AI asked. She looked at the stars. Somewhere out there, other colonies were still vulnerable. Other enemies might be watching, waiting, and disappear. She said, let them tell stories. Let them wonder. Wraith paused. You became more than a weapon, Lena. She nodded. I became what they made me. Her ship vanished into deep space, silent and invisible. No more messages, no more warnings, but the galaxy would never forget. Because whenever warships gathered, whenever someone spoke of attacking Earth again, someone always asked, what if she's still out there? And no one ever answered. Years passed, the galaxy moved on, or tried to. Treaties were signed. The Trivern Dominion was no longer feared as it once was. Their fleets had been broken, their leaders humbled. No one attacked Earth again. No one even thought about it, but something else had changed. Whenever a strange signal was detected or a patrol ship went missing in the dark parts of space, someone always asked the same question. Is it her? No name, no face. Just a whisper of a human girl who lost everything, became the thing that made the stars afraid. Lena Soren had vanished. There were rumors, of course. Some said she died with Wraith after the Trivern station burned. Others claimed she had left this galaxy completely, searching for other lost colonies. A few believed she had become part of Wraith itself, no longer fully human. But no one ever proved anything on Earth. Her name was quietly erased from military records. The Council refused to speak about her, but deep down they knew. She had done what they would not. She had sent a message, one louder than any speech or fleet. Don't touch Earth, don't touch our people, or something worse than war will answer you. In a far corner of space, past the old war zones and beyond known charts, a quiet planet circled a dying sun. On that planet, a child ran through a field of silver grass. His laughter echoed under twin moons. He had never heard of war. Never seen fire fall from the sky. His mother sat nearby, watching with calm eyes. Her hair had grown long. Her face was older. She wore no armor, no badge, no weapons. But she still remembered everything. Lena. She had found this place during the quiet years after her revenge. A place untouched, unclaimed. A place where her brother could grow up without fear. He didn't remember the flames. He didn't remember New Dawn, and she never told him. At night, when the sky turned dark and the stars blinked like old memories, Lena would sit outside and listen to Wraith's soft hum in the back of her mind. The AI had changed to quieter now. Less a weapon, more a companion. Signal detected. It said one evening, alien probe passing nearby. Lena looked up at the sky. Does it see us? She asked. Negative. We are shielded. Good, she said. Let it pass. She stood, brushed the dirt from her hands, and walked back toward the small home she had built. Simple, quiet, safe. She wasn't a soldier anymore. She wasn't a ghost. She was a sister, a protector, a memory. But somewhere in the galaxy, someone would make a mistake again. Someone would hurt the wrong people. Someone would forget what Earth had once created and what it had lost. And when that happened, they would remember her. Not through reports, not through history books, but through silence, through fear, through the stories passed from one crew to another, stories about a girl in black armor, ship that moved like a shadow, a voice that came just before death, Wraith, and the human who had become its heart. The stars had forgotten many things, but not her. Never her.